Holy fuck. Remember I said this one might be the one where I'm getting in over our heads? All right, we're out here, Granite Mountain, Prescott, Arizona. It was really nice walking out here, very cool. Now it's hot as shit. We're headed up there. Gonna be doing Coatimundi Whiteout today. Nope, no we're not. That's not right. We're gonna be doing Coatimundi Candyland Linkup. It's a 5'9". The cool thing is it goes across the Great Roof, 50 feet or something crazy. It looks scary. Let's see how it goes. Oh, we out here with Joel too. No tunnels today.
It was a high of 95 in Prescott today, so it was a race against the clock. It's important to be off the wall when the route comes into sun and it becomes dangerously hot.
On my watch.
In order to safely accomplish our goal, we needed to leave Phoenix at 4 a.m., take an hour on the approach and an hour per pitch. Unfortunately, we left late and had some delays on the approach, so we didn't get started until nearly 9 o'clock and it was already 85 degrees. Right here is where I would say pitch 1 Crux is. It kind of forces you to use toe jams in this kind of like slippery crack, and then you just have some okay fingers for hands.
Bomber.
This is one of those perfect nut placements where the crack starts so large and it gets so small that you could pick literally any size of nut and put it in there. Skipping up about 20 feet, we're getting into some of the face climbing and larger crack. I hope you brought your 2s, 3s, and 4s. Try not to make fun of me too hard for making this noise. Okay, we're arriving here at the pitch 1 anchor at 9:08, so that took 18 minutes to lead the first pitch.
Off the leg.
That's actually a pace I'm pretty proud of. I'm not the fastest lead climber, but I'm working on becoming a little bit more efficient.
I just finished leading pitch 1. A little stout. There were some sections there that were slippery, down to fingers, not many feet. I'm constantly surprised by how slippery the granite is here. You got me?
This pitch, the climbing starts to get hard, and I start making mistakes that end up costing us the day. This pitch starts off with some pretty interesting climbing, but quickly leads up to the Crux off-width. This part is no joke, as evidenced by the fact that there was a bail carabiner left here, which means that a party retreated from this bolt.
What is that sound? Is that my cam? You ready? Watch me good.
This part of the climb was super interesting because it was essentially face climbing for the left half of my body and then off-width climbing for the right half. Here you can see me using an arm bar and a leg bar with my right arm and right leg respectively. I thought I was going to get spit out of this crack at any second. Also, this chicken wing gave me a chance to rest all of my other limbs. The bolt is about at my feet level, so if I fell here, I'd fall 6 or 7 feet, and then I'd have to reclimb this section again.
In. Oh, I got some Elvis leg.
Here's where the climbing gets a bit more secure because we're back in hand jamming territory. We are absolutely not out of the woods because I'm super tired at this point.
That's good.
At this point I decided to take because I couldn't even swallow. I was breathing so hard, my throat was completely dry, so I had to get a drink of water.
That was really fucking hard.
So it was at this point that I made a pretty big mistake. I look to my right and I see a shiny bolt about 10 feet over. But little did I know, it's actually leading me to a 510A section on a route called Water Streak Delight. So I drop in some pro and confidently start my incorrect traverse. Unfortunately, this is where my camera overheats and I was not in a state of mind to hang out and try to restart it, so we'll pick up 10 feet to the left and about 3 feet above the bolt. So from this position, my feet are about 3 feet above the bolt. I'm probably exposed to a 10 to 15 foot whip, and I realized I traversed too early at this point because I look up and I see no more bolts. All I see is this flaring finger crack that looks pretty hard to protect. I was genuinely considering down climbing or taking the whip and then traversing back. I didn't think I would be able to protect this finger crack. So I spent a little time trying to slot in some nuts just before I went nuclear and tried to back off this climb. I didn't think this purple nut was very good, but then I tried to get it out and it was actually in a lot better than I thought. So I gave it a couple tugs and it set even better.
That's in there good.
So that nut gave me the confidence to push on and try to get a cam in the crack a little higher up. To be honest, the climbing did not look that difficult, but with how slippery the granite is, I was not willing to try these moves without good protection, so I'm really glad that nut set very well.
Okay, that'll work.
One mistake here is just with how delicately this cam was put in there, I should have extended it, but I was just about home free into an actual crack. And this is where I would have ended up had I done the correct traverse at the correct height. At this point, I've been leading this pitch for 36 minutes, so I really just wanted to be done with it. So I was trying to lead it as fast as I could, as safely as I could, and I wasn't really extending pieces, which will turn out to be a huge problem, as the rope drag just keeps adding up the higher I get. You can see here, because I'm not extending, the rope is getting pulled behind the flake, so anytime I pull up, I'm just getting a ton of extra friction in the rope. It's also kind of dangerous. If I fall to the right, I can potentially shear that rope along this flake. Here you can kind of see the rope drag that I'm going to have to deal with.
Off belay!
So I spent the better part of 20 minutes just pulling up 70 to 80 feet of rope, spent a ton of energy, all because I was not paying attention to my piece extensions, the rope drag, having to traverse, and then the traverse back was just adding a ton of rope drag.
Kind of losing shade here. That's the sun, and it's traveling this way, so we're about to lose shade. I untied my end, fixed it so that we can do some ascending shenanigans. This second pitch is no joke. We're probably gonna have to bail, sadly, right by the great roof, but it's getting hot. The last pitch is gonna be in the sun, guaranteed pretty much. This will be shaded for a long time, I think, a few hours, but once we round that corner, we're pretty much in the sun. So it's probably not gonna happen today, but you know what? We'll come back and we'll crush it eventually.
So in total, pitch 2 took us almost 2.5 hours. This is from my taking a long time, leading the pitch, getting off route, dealing with the rope drag, and then Joel following. We would hate to get stuck on the fourth pitch in full sun, 95 degrees. That'd just be too dangerous. So we will definitely be coming back for revenge on this route very soon. So subscribe if you want to see that. Thanks so much for watching, guys. I'll catch you in the next one.